Be nice.
I'm finding it.
It take you that long to find it?
It does.
Oh, hello, ladies. I'm gonna hold your hand while I say this. I just want you to know that the media and the image that you're exposed to about marriage is not like the real thing at all. You have been manipulated by the patriarchy to believe that becoming a Mrs. is the prescription pill for eternal happiness. I feel that as a wise old millennial with an X amount of life experiences in love and relationships, I can give right answers on why the construct of marriage doesn't work in your favor. We've all been bombarded with pesky, invasive questions regarding our love lives and decisions to partner up. You would be lying to me right now if you told me that you have never been to a family function and been asked questions like, is there a special someone in your life? You all are just so cute. When's the wedding? When it's only been 2 months. You better hurry up before it's too late. Gotta get that ring by spring. If you grew up in the church, you've got some post-traumatic stress from hearing ring by spring. I hate it. It irks my nerves, grinds my gears, and I want to throw my laptop, phone, or whatever else I'm holding when I see it written on an old acquaintance's engagement post on social media. Please mind you, I am in no way a love or romance hater. I think a union between two souls who genuinely love each other, where life is better together as a team, is a beautiful thing.
B-E-A-beautiful.
But like the one I got, there seems to be this psychologically manipulative, crafted way that marriage is presented to women in pop culture and the media and presents marriage as the end goal for a relationship. The fantasy of falling in love, finding the one. The one. I put that in quotes because I don't believe there is such a thing. And legally permeating the relationship with the law is constantly pushed in our faces from the moment we're born. And this is a problem you should care about because the foundation of marriage is far from the romantic and domestic bliss it is shown to be throughout our lives. I'm here to tell you today as a PSA that the construct of marriage is less about partnership and creating a family and more about maintaining a patriarchal institution that benefits the livelihoods of men and enslaving women to a life of servitude. Not saying all marriages are like this. I know that there are marriages that exist that thrive on true partnership and love, but it's still in the small minority still. I'm talking about society's blueprint of marriage. Now, if you're watching this and you want to get married one day or you are getting married, this is not me telling you not to do it. It's your life. Do what you want. I don't know you. I don't know what your morals are, but I know who I am and I know what my morals are. And one of them absolutely does not include getting married for the wrong reasons or to the wrong person. Now, I haven't been married before, and before you accuse me of not knowing what I'm talking about, most of my friends have, and most of them are divorced now. And they've almost always communicated to me things like it wasn't what they really wanted. They felt pressured into it by family telling them that they were getting too old. And having a husband made them feel trapped, unsupported, mistreated, and they wish they had pulled the plug sooner on the relationship when they had the chance because divorce is ugly. Ugly. And I beg of you, woman to woman, that before entering a marriage, you establish your own identity, make your own money, and have an exit strategy if things don't work out. Because enmeshing yourself with someone completely always hurts somebody. We really got to take a second and talk about the problematic history of how society glamorizes marriage for young girls that leads them to a male-centered existence, that deprives them of a sense of identity and existence outside of a man. And then later on, we'll discuss how women today are becoming more aware of how marriage entraps them. And then we're going to discuss a popular way that how coupled women today are trying to avoid the false promise of finding domestic bliss in a partnership with a man in a society that tells women they're nothing without one. Now, in this day and age where women have more independence and autonomy than they ever did before, it's pretty clear that marriage has no benefits for women. When we look back at history, there are so many things you couldn't do unless you had a husband. More than 100 years ago, you couldn't vote, you couldn't own property, you couldn't get birth control, you couldn't even wear pants unless you were married. And divorce was illegal for a long time. Just Let that sink in. But we can be grateful that we're alive today. I mean, not that today is a great time for women either, but compared to past centuries and their restriction on women's freedom, we're pretty liberated in comparison. Now, as the 20th century rolled around and women started being given more rights and the freedom of choice, this scared the patriarchy like crazy because they thrive on keeping women locked down and controlled. And you know what happens when conservative men in power learn that they can't control women? They resort to mass manipulation. I mentioned this in a video that I did a while ago called What Nobody Talks About. What the that video called? What no one tells you about being in your 30s. That as little girls, we are being molded into being domestic creatures. Through the fairy tales read to us, to the chick flick rom-coms we watched, to the baby dolls or any other toys that we played with that we acted as mommy to. All of these seemingly innocent things send out the subconscious message to young girls that they can't find fulfillment in living a life without a man to build a family with. Let me show you this TikTok from a user called Malvika that went viral a while ago, where she referred to this as sexist propaganda that manipulates women through the romanticization of finding the one to stay conditioned with the mindset that women exist as domestic partners for men.
One of my hottest takes is that true love and soulmates and the one is all sexist propaganda. Fairy tales and movies function as tools that condition women to eagerly disrupt their lives and center men and center romance and view domesticity as like romantic destiny rather than subjugation and oppression. And it's that video that I saw a while ago in here of like marriage is just DEI. Like, I really believe that. And I'm someone who like loves love. I want to get married and have kids. Like, I want all that. But literally any piece of media that you grew up with that even slightly implied to you that women in some way exist to like serve men or be the other half to a man, or you can only find completion through like romantic partnership, or you know, your wedding day is going to be the happiest day of your life, or anything like that. Propaganda. To me, propaganda. Sorry. I just really believe it's so important for us as women to construct a very whole sense of self and excitement for the future that is not just purely patriarchal.
Oh, hey girl. Sorry, my friend just texted me. And she's right. Malvika is correct. The glamour of love stories portrayed in the media, where the girl gets the guy she's always wanted in the end, hearing engagement rumors of celebrity couples that they ship, all this kind of stuff glorifies the end goal of a relationship with a man being marriage. And that marriage is the only way that they will get the happily ever after that is promised to them by these stories and these cliche narratives. This so very easily influences a male-centered existence for these naive young women and girls, the main target audience and consumers, of prompts for conversation that center around their appeal as a potential girlfriend or wife to someone of the opposite sex. We see these manifested as articles or clickbait reels on Instagram, headlining, "Signs you're more attractive than you think you are," "How to tell if he's in love with you," "Surefire ways to tell he's cheating on you." And if I see another goddamn dating coach trying to sell one of those scammy ass make him chase you packages, someone's about to get cussed out from me in their DMs. This man-centered society that has been created to keep women unequal to men creates this fantasy within many women who are obsessed with finding the right guy, getting proposed to, her wedding dress, having a lavish wedding, having cute babies, when in reality, those things have nothing to do with marriage. All these so-called wonderful things that we're told about married life and sharing everything with a man is just brainwashing women into a lack of self-sufficiency and incompleteness, so men can have their egos fed by feeling like a provider and a protector. I'd like to read a quote here from Clementine Ford, author of the book I Don't. And it goes a little something like this. When you peel back the layers of history and propaganda, it's impossible to not want to completely destroy this inherently misogynistic institution. I think of marriage as being like the colorfully decorated wagon the children in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang are lured into by the royally appointed child catcher. Once women are safely ensconced in it, the bells and whistles adorning the exterior fall away to reveal nothing but a cage. Marriage is an unsalvageable lie, designed to keep women in service to the patriarchy and away from realizing our full full potential. We should reject it entirely and refuse on principle to willingly add our names to a list built primarily on the backs of women who had no choice, no rights, and no freedom. The fact that many women still can't make this choice freely, even in Tolinto, I guess that's someone in the book, wound up married because it was the only way she and her partner could access each other's healthcare benefits, says everything. Simply put, if the government is bribing you to do something, it's rarely in your best interest to do so. She didn't say to do so, I added that. And where's the lies here? I see no lies. And this highlights yet another issue. Marriage comes with tax benefits and shared financial expenses, like getting on one's health insurance plan. In many instances, it's usually the wife getting on the husband's insurance plan from his workplace. These opportunities, they are so hard to resist. As a single person supporting oneself, that an alarming amount of women get married so they can share the high cost of living with a man who gets paid more than they do. Again, this is all on purpose. Men don't get paid more than women on average by accident. Like everything we've talked about so far, it's all part of the patriarchal system to keep women dependent on men. Women today are waking up and becoming more aware of the unequal give and take in partnerships, how we've been manipulated by society to marry, even if it's not in the cards for us or if we're not ready, and the discrepancies between the sexes as a whole. That the idea of giving up everything we've worked for and wanted and merging it all with a lawful union with a guy? Oh, hell no! And while marriage is not being abandoned completely, marriage rates are on the decline more than ever. And those who do find themselves in healthy relationships are carrying out alternate ways of partnerships, like, for example, living apart together. This is an arrangement where two people in a committed relationship share their lives without sharing their living spaces. Living apart together comes with many pros like financial independence, freedom to maintain your living space the way you like, and more control over your schedule. This isn't the same thing as long distance. You could just be neighbors or live in the same town. That makes things a lot easier and more long-lasting than if the whole relationship was carried out over FaceTime. I mean, at least I would assume. You can still do all the things that cohabitating or married couples do. You just have more freedom and autonomy. Let me know if you like the idea of more couples living apart together, and we'll instantly be best friends. I know that this was quite a hot potato take, and not everyone will agree with me. But if you are one of the ones who resonated with it and feel like it lit up a fire in your soul to live in your healthy feminine, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And if you and I be vibing, then I sure as hell love it if you would click that subscribe button that you can so easily do on your screen like this. Ding! That way you're notified every time I put a new video out. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and until we meet again. Bye!